All right, you guys, there he is in his full glory. Montage bit over. We're gonna get to the review part of the review, and it should be pretty quick, unlike the last time. But yeah, we're gonna start with I can't English accessories, because we have a display using one of them right now, and that's the atomic breath effect part, with the new mouthpiece that comes with it included to pull off this whole pose right here. This is from the 2019 Godzilla movie, but this figure can still pull it off because it is essentially the same mold. Yeah, let's start by showcasing the accessories first. You can already kind of see it, or you saw it during that little up and down bit. It's just the same atomic breath as last time. Mine's a little warped. I just introduced some heat, though I think it's warped because of the weight dragging it down. So yeah, it's the same one as the 2014 Spitfire. Nothing much, but it is a pretty good accessory to work with. And here we have the lower jaw accessory for this Godzilla. If we oh boy, okay. That is not a quality issue. I overextended the joint. That was my bad. There we go. We got it back into place. There we go. That's all good. So you can see there's a hole in here for the breath to go in. Jaw looks pretty detailed, even though it's a little bit exaggerated for my taste in terms of how he opens his mouth, but that is the way they were able to engineer it, per what I can tell. But just twist, yank this bad boy out. Here is the little breath effect piece, the holder. You just replace the lower jaw. This is a pretty creative way of making use of the atomic breath effect part. But yeah, no. Spoiler alert, tongue does not move as far as I'm aware. I don't want to break it. And this thing's on the ball joint, so you want to just connect it into here and make sure these bits get inside the gaps here. There we go. Now we can fully cover articulation. All things considered, this Godzilla is pretty movable, pretty mobile, pretty posable. You definitely saw it over here earlier, because one, the pose, and two, me pulling off the ball joint. The head can look that far up, like so. Can look that far down. You can adjust some of this to get it to look down a little bit farther, like that. You can turn left and right. This feels a lot smoother than the 2014. You can do all this funky little business. Neck can also move around. Shoulders can go full 360. They can also go a little bit in and out. You get elbow bend, like so. Elbow swivel. Wrist rotation, and even up and down on the wrist, depending how you have everything positioned, because everything is its own little ball joint, little segment. Here you could manipulate all this. You already kind of saw it in action. You can do even a little bit of a side to side. Legs can kick out that far, back out about yay far. You can extend them outward. You can rotate slightly at the knees, get a swivel. You got a good knee bend working with. This moves depending how you bend the knee. You get a calf swivel here. And then you got decent ankle pivot, up and down. There's a good foot joint to work with. And of course, what is, I believe it is the signature for MonsterArts, is the tail. And despite how it's not as long and pointed as the 2014 Spitfire, it's still got some pretty good articulation with it. Just don't overextend the joints. If you do, they will pop off. If you ask me, I don't think that's a quality control issue, and more so a human error thing going on. So you could just kind of do this with the whole tail. Ball joints are nice and sturdy. Everything about this figure is pretty fantastic so far, based on my experience with him as of holding him in my shelf for like a long time, pretty much. Oh yeah, also his mouth can open and close. I forgot to mention that. I'm gonna do this while he's talking, even though this looks really stupid. All right, let's take a look at this guy's detailing. The painting for the dorsal spines and their intricate patterns here, nicely captured. I love the blue and how vibrant it is. I always like this kind of blue over what we got with the Spitfire. It's really nice blue, really nice shiny blue. Even the eyes, you can't really tell though. Even the eyes are blue to kind of signify the charge. Some would argue, why don't they paint the mouth blue? Well, you have this whole shtick right here. You don't need to paint the mouth blue. But yeah, scales are as they are. They're bumpy. Some of these are pretty sharp. These spines are super sharp, especially these ones right here. If you try to grab it, you're gonna probably stab yourself a little bit. But yeah, all the details, his abs, neck, even the little gill-like areas, everything you see here detail-wise is fantastic. It's amazing. And I got this figure for pretty cheap. At its retail of $75, which it's expensive, but by figure standards, that is pretty cheap. Also, I did forget to mention another set of accessories, which is the resting hands. You just pop them off. You just pop these ones off the ball joint. These came on my figure, like the open, like ferocious hands right there. Those came with the figure. Those came on the figure by default when I opened them out of the box, and I think I really like these more than the normal hands. So makes them a lot more aggressive. You can even do some claw. Again, I can't do this. You can even do some claw swipes with him. It's fantastic. I love this figure already. I'm gonna try to see if we can get Kong to go with him. So for size comparison, we are going to start with the 2014 Spitfire Godzilla, Pardon the Dust. And yeah, partially it might be because the dust had affected the color slightly, but this dude's a lot lighter. The blue's a lot more blur. This one's a lot more vibrant, a lot more brighter. Even the mouth has that kind of difference going on. Overall, yeah, these two figures are accomplishing somewhat different things per their respective source material. And yeah. Next we have the MonsterArts Godzilla -1 with the Kaiju Wizard custom head. Yeah, the head's custom, but it is still essentially the same figure, and it's also a MonsterArts. This guy is supposed to be shorter than him in terms of canon height and weight wise, but they look great together, honestly. And on our final figure comparison, size comparison companion, yeah, it's gonna be the Final Wars Gigan from MonsterArts as well. Again, part of the dust. My room is pretty dusty, but yeah, all things considered, these guys are not 100% in scale, but they look pretty nice together. All right, everyone, that is it for this video review, and that's it for today's figure review. I should probably say it that way. And if you ever find this guy online for like $75 or even maybe a bit less, I definitely recommend getting him, because he's a pretty fun figure. And one thing I'm gonna disclose right away is that I'm aware that there's like previous like releases of this exact mold right here. This is the latest one as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I'm aware, more importantly. And I expected the quality to be bad, because that's what I've been hearing. I also expected there to be mold degradation, because that could be a factor as to why these figures have been coming back, especially this mold. Nothing has happened. I've had this figure for a few weeks now. I got him back in September. So I can tell you with confidence that at least with my copy, there's nothing wrong. And I definitely love it. I'm more of an articulation nut, so I'm going to lean towards MonsterArts in this aspect. I do want to get a Haya figure just to see what the hype is all about. Especially if whenever they release their Evolved Godzilla from Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. If I ever get my hands on that and the MonsterArts one by some miraculous event or whatever, then I will review them both. But yeah, so far I only seem to have MonsterArts because there's no Haya in my area. There's no store that has Haya toys, so I kind of have to roll with what I can get, and I can only really get MonsterArts. He is the cheapest MonsterArts figure I have by far, and he's definitely a favorite. He's definitely a favorite, concerning everything that's going on, concerning how good this guy looks, and concerning how this guy was my first proper MonsterArts figure. But yeah. Anyways, guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. The usual YouTuber jargon garbage that we have to hear. I don't like putting them in the beginning in videos, so that's going to destroy my ability to get on the algorithm, but who cares? Who cares besides me trying to get this channel to a point where I can make money off of it and make a living. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope to see y'all in the next review. Thank you for watching.